Hey there, folks. I just want to quickly walk through a procedural coffee glass and cream generator asset that I created in Houdini and using Redshift as well. So it's a paid asset that will be available on my Gumroad, and I just wanted to do a quick walkthrough for anyone who is interested or has purchased it, and kind of show them a little bit about how to use it. So if you haven't seen the page on my Gumroad, these are kind of like the results of some of the renders I've done with it. So there's an option for a volumetric simulation. So this is volumetric, and then also a 2D Pyro simulation as well. So this is the 2D version. So there's a lot of options in terms of directing the look of things, and that's just one of them. So let's walk through some of the options. So when you open the file, this is all this is everything. So everything in red is renderable, and this green node is the setup, the cameras, the lights, and the material network. So it's all pretty simple, and then you'll see I have a couple notes in here. So the controls for everything are all in this green node, and then these are just nodes you click on for rendering. So a quick note, you'll want to either use the 2D coffee and cream, or the cream volumetric and the coffee liquid together. So that's just something to keep in mind. You're not really going to be combining these. So let me turn off the glass and the coffee liquid. So you can see right now we just have our ice and our floor on. And if we turn on the coffee and cream 2D, you'll see this is our 2D coffee and cream is here. And then if we turn that off, and we turn on our we'll leave that off for a second. If we turn on cream volumetric, you can see we have the volumetric simulation, and then we'll turn on our coffee liquid on top of that, and our glass. So, and then condensation as well is something you can add onto it. I didn't want to rebuild a condensation asset, because that wasn't really the goal of this asset for me. So if you want to, you can download a free HDA from Fabian Strub on his Gumroad, and I've left the link here. And it's also, just here on his Gumroad, this procedural droplet solver. It's a great asset, for any other projects as well. I highly recommend it. And then but for the renders that I've done, I ended up using image textures, because I think they had a little bit nicer look, and so the glass is set up for UVs and everything, and also has a couple attributes that you can use for shading potentially as well. There is a wet map that I created, and a mask attribute just from the bottom to the top. So you can use a couple of those things for shading as well. But I think, I tested a couple things, and I just liked the look of the image textures the most. So that's the basics of just this level. Let's also look at the material network, because we have materials for every one of those items, and the most important probably ones will be the coffee, the coffee cream volume, the coffee cream 2D, and then potentially the coffee liquid as well. So the cream volume, you'll just want to go in here and change potentially the density, the absorption, and the colors of things. Those are pretty much the properties you'll mess with. And then coffee cream 2D is blending between the coffee material and the cream. So the coffee is a transmission brown material, and the cream is a is a light brown, more standard material. No transmission or anything, just a ramp that is going from black to light brown and blending based on the color. So it's, the color we saw on that grid earlier from the 2D Pyro simulation is driving the blending between these two materials. So, and that'll change with the density value. So when you make changes to the simulation density, that will change the blending between the materials. And we can look back at that in a sec when we turn on the render view. And then, the big thing will be diving in here and working with the coffee creamer setup. And here are all the parameters that you would probably change. You go in here and you can just change the node that you'll be previewing. So like if I want to go in here, change the glass parameters, I can do whatever I want with with the glass, and everything else will update as well. So we have that, and then let's go back, see the ice and coffee liquid has already adjusted to the glass because we made the changes to the glass. So it's already adjusted and everything. And then if we show all objects, we can kind of see that stuff. The ice cube, so we can see let me make these changes. It'll be slower because you're seeing everything update in real time, but you can see it working and updating all the parameters and everything. So that's cool. And our ice cubes as well. We have various controls over those. Basically the scale and the radius that they'll be generated within, and then some point relaxation, and those are most of the just the count of how many ice cubes there will be and everything. For this, I've only had them sitting on the top of the glass. So if you want to add them throughout the volume, then you would just need to set them up to be copied throughout the volume of the object. So, and maybe I'll add that in before I fully release the asset. So you would just grab the coffee liquid. Let's go or hide everything. So you would grab this and have a points from volume, and then copy those ice cubes to the points. So I can add something like that in before I fully release the asset. So you can change things here, and then the coffee, you can adjust the height of the liquid too. So like if you want it closer to the edge of the glass or whatever, you can change that as well. And then you've got your simulation options as well, the cream. So for this, let's hide other objects. Coffee cream out. This one you can see is the, okay, here, let me label this 2D, and okay, you can see that one. And then it's a little slow just because but I think if you click through to a specific frame, it's just easier than waiting for it to play through. So you can see this is the 2D result, and then if we show all objects, you might not be able to see everything, and I think I may have left the 3D simulation on, so it's calculating that too. Just make sure to click that off before you show everything. It should be relatively quick to calculate, but I mean, yeah, it's gonna have to recalculate. So yeah, that's fine. Yeah, let me turn off the cream volumetric and turn the coffee cream 2D back on. So yeah, we have the 2D coffee on, and we can make changes here to like the density or the source size, like the emitter basically size. And you can enable some noise on the density or adjust the quality or the curve force, which is basically what's pushing it along, pushing it downwards. And I think, yeah, those are the important settings. You can obviously also dive in and make whatever changes you want to, but I think this is a pretty good amount of control for what we need. And then if we hop into the render view, you can see this is kind of the base of our setup. Like this is the coffee glass and the floor and the ice cubes and everything. Okay, just had to make a little tweak. I'm just finalizing everything for releasing this asset. So you can see here with the 2D Pyro setup, this is the look we get, and you can see kind of it blending from the areas with zero density to the areas with higher density, and it's and then if you want to make changes to the materials, just hop back into the material blender and change whatever you want to change about it. And you can change the blending color and the ramp for the blending as well. So you can direct the look quite a bit after the simulation's done even. So yeah, then that it's got a very distinct look relative to the volumetric one. So wanted to have some options between getting the right look that you're after. So yeah, that is the coffee and cream 2D, and so then the cream volumetric we should definitely simulate a little bit faster, and then we will also want to have the coffee liquid enabled for that one as well as the glass. So then let's hop back to the render view. And you can see we have like what you would kind of expect from cream being poured more in a volumetric look. So we get more kind of depth to the shapes of everything, and kind of those billowy clouds of cream that you would probably see. So this is maybe a more accurate sort of look to the fluid dynamics of this kind of setup and everything. But I wanted to have the option for either one. So same thing as before. If you want to make changes, go up to the go up to the coffee creamer setup, dive in there, and hop over to the Pyro Test 3D, and we can go here and we can see all our smoke, and then we can make changes here if we want to. So, we could increase or decrease the density and change where the sim turns on and off. You can have it emit for longer or shorter depending on whatever you want. And, you can bump up the density a ton. Whatever you want, and increase the gravity or the turbulence, and just I exposed a few parameters I think would be most useful for kind of art directing this. Just volumetric simulation. And sometimes I think it's easier to just click to a frame that you want to look at rather than just clicking play and waiting. Sometimes it seems like that's a faster way to scrub through. So those are most of the options I think that are available to you. And something weird going on here. Okay. Yeah. Those are most of the options available, and you can play with any of the settings and any of the attributes for shading and things like that. And obviously, change the environment, change the lighting and all of that, and use this kind of just as your base for your kind of hero product renders. And yeah, obviously there's a lot of fun stuff to dive into in the setups themselves. The 2D Pyro solver is a modified version of the one from NTLib. So if you want to poke around in here, you can see the base and what I've changed, and I'll include this modified version of the HDA so that you won't need to download it and try and match them or whatever. It'll just work. And yeah, again, if you want the condensation droplet solver, just download that from Fabian on his Gumroad. And I think that is pretty much everything that I want to include. So I'm sure there will be things that I miss or whatever things that could be improved. So if you do end up purchasing the asset and you have questions, feel free to get in touch with me. Or if you have suggestions for improving it, just let me know and I can release an updated version. So that is it. We've just walked through the procedural coffee asset generator that I created in Houdini and made for rendering with Redshift. So thanks for tuning in, and get in touch with me if you have any questions.